Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at uranium energy. It is time for another update, and quickly on the long time frame for any of you who might be new. We are tracking this idea of a triple 1 2 1 2 1 2 setup that has developed over nearly 17 years. And then we are looking here on the shorter time frame to start filling in the third wave to the upside. That would then fill in this pattern and make the overall uptrend more convincing and more reliable, backing up the previous structure basically. And within this wave 3 we have been tracking the initial wave 1 that would develop here to the upside, that would be followed by wave 2, another entry opportunity that would be in that case. And so far, we have been tracking this chart ever since we were around this area, and we provided like 7 or 8 support zones, and all but one of them worked out. And the fact that it didn't work out, one of them, rather suggests that we are quite possibly towards the end of this trend. So we failed to hold support here to push directly and create an impulse within the fifth wave to the upside here. And that is fine. It is just an indication that we used, and we have the information that this is probably towards the end. Now, before we get any more closer into the shorter time frame, I want to present briefly the idea that we have been tracking so far. And here we have a double 1 2 1 2 setup that we have been tracking, a third wave up, a fourth wave down, and then this would be the fifth wave to the upside. Now, I have to say, the way we have actually developed and created this movement to the upside that was pretty much in a straight line makes me consider different interpretations that could be possible. And right now I am not so convinced of this idea of a 1-2 setup here. Maybe it is a double 1-2-1-2 setup. This could maybe work, where then this was the third wave up, the fourth wave down, and now we are in the fifth wave to the upside. But I have to say, I would be overall very cautious, because realistically this could turn out into a different count, where we would be tracking a diagonal pattern where this would be a wave 1, this would be a wave 2, this entire movement would be the third wave up, and this might make a lot more sense in many cases. And then we would still be looking for a 4-5 to complete an overall larger 5-wave move, completing a wave 1, and we could still look for a nice wave 2 to the downside here. But the structure might require a little more cautiousness than we previously were expecting necessarily. Now, in that idea, in the previous video, I provided you these support zones, one in blue, one in white, and they represented different interpretations that the chart could have followed. And we have had the blue scenario for the idea of a much more bullish setup, where instead of actually slowing down in this area, we were preparing for a series of 1-2 setups that would allow for a very strong third wave that could have taken us directly much higher and built an overall larger structure directly. Now, unfortunately, the fact that we failed to create here a clear 5-wave structure within an impulse, within an expected third wave, rather indicates to me that this is not going to work out, most probably, and that is why I am going to remove this interpretation from the chart. Now, it didn't fail us at any point directly, but the structure that has developed within the movements, the waves that we were tracking, just don't add up to that scenario. So we will resume to really only tracking the white interpretation in this case. And within this white interpretation, I am still looking actually for continuation to the upside. Now, we didn't manage to create an ABC pattern within the fifth wave as we expected, since we were tracking here a diagonal. But that is completely fine, because right now I think we may have even reached the 100. Oh no, we had previously reached the ideal target for wave 3 as well, so it doesn't matter in this case. But I would have to say that in this case I would be looking for a third wave here, a fourth wave down, and now I would look again in a retry for the fifth wave to the upside, because I am expecting a 3-wave move, a 3-wave structure to complete the wave 5, and we didn't get that here. We really only got a singular wave, and then I would rather consider this an ABC structure within the wave C, and I would still look for another ABC structure within the fifth wave to complete the larger wave 5, possibly completing the larger wave 3 here. Now, as I was saying, the structure that has been developing here is a little bit unreliable at the moment, and I would really like a lot more to count this as a singular wave within the larger structure, and that would either require me to consider that this is a diagonal pattern with the wave 1 up, a wave 2 down, a third wave up, or something slightly different where, yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe it doesn't look too nice, to be honest. And in this idea, we will look for what we should follow next based on that idea, but as long as we hold the 61.8% retracement here that goes as low as the $11.2 level, I am still looking for direct continuation to the upside. If this level fails, I would probably have to assume that we actually topped here, quite possibly completing this entire wave 3, and then, yeah, I might need to look, as I was saying, possibly for a very large support zone, in this case that could go as low as the $8 level and would still be fine and within expectations for continuation to the upside. So if the 61.8% retracement on the short time frame here fails, expect or be prepared at least for much lower prices, and in that idea, we can resume to tracking still this fifth wave to the upside, because right now we are still above the 61.8% retracement. We even produced a decent movement to the upside, and I could even consider that this is an A wave up. I would be looking now for a B wave correction, and we can track the support zone for a wave B in this case. And let's use the green scenario at levels between the $12 down to the $11.5 level. And as long as we stay above the 78.6% retracement here, I am preferring still another high within the fifth wave, but a break below this level would be a warning that, yeah, this might not work out. We may at least reset this wave A. Maybe we find support again at the 61.8% retracement, but the invalidation risk of this A-B setup increases drastically once we get below the 78.6% retracement here. And for now, all else I could really do is maybe give you a target for the fifth wave to the upside. Now, this is an ideal target, an estimation of what we could be looking for, and that would be at around the $14 level. Now, that seems a bit excessive without an extension within this A wave, so I wouldn't necessarily expect to reach that in this case directly, but we can look for an additional target once we have the wave B complete. And for now, these are the levels, this is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.